Alrighty, ladies and gents, hope you're well. Oh my goodness, look at this. What is going on, YouTube? What is going on? Where am I is the question. Is this, you like my backdrop? This is a bit of a throw together studio. I hope you guys are well. We're testing out a whole heap of new stuff tonight. So I hope it all goes smoothly. Fingers crossed the tech works. I got a bunch of stuff going on. As you guys know, I've moved recently and we're setting up a new place. Part of setting up this new place is to build a studio, and we're working on that at the moment. So let me just make sure I can see everyone's chats and all that sort of stuff. But good to see everyone in here. Thank you for all the comments so fast. Dankius is in here as well. He caught me on the Facebook as well. Huh. Yo, dope background. Yeah, how good is this background? What does it make you think of? It's like some sort of acid trip or something like that. But I don't know, it is pretty cool. But hey, I got a surprise for you. No, there's no extra guests or anything today. You just got me. But I wanted to show you something. Now, part of setting up the new studio is things like this. Ready? How's that? Did that work? Did it change anything? There we go. That's what I meant to do. Look at this. I could have a guest right here. Okay. I've got an invisible man at the moment, and I am going to get someone eventually. Like I said, I'm going to build a studio. But in the meantime, you guys got me like this. So yeah, man, I'm doing well. It's good to see everyone in here. Thank you for asking the question there, Ahmed Baker. I am doing well, brother. I hope you guys are doing well too. I think it's a good time right now, man. I'm wrestling. It's a good time. There's a lot going on. Stronger than every woman on earth. How's the train for RBJ going? Man, it's going. Honestly, since signing the contract for this match, like the level of motivation, the level of just drive has gone through the roof. I've worked so damn hard the last 4 or 5 days. My wrist is just stiff and sore and tender, and I'm pushing harder than I've ever pushed. So I hope RBJ is working hard too, because I am definitely going to be coming in good form for this one. Alex McDonald says, welcome to pay-per-view. Yes, if you are a pay-per-view member, welcome. Thank you for that, Alex McDonald. We have got an event this weekend, haven't we? Oh, my goodness. Lachlan there, Todd Hutchins. Talk about a big match. That, ladies and gentlemen, is as big a match as they come. At least if you're an Australian arm wrestler. There's probably bigger matches out there, but for an Australian arm wrestler, oh my goodness. Lachlan Adair has an opportunity right now this weekend. I think Lachlan Adair is still actually in the air right now. He's somewhere over the Pacific. He'd be getting close to probably Los Angeles. He's probably 2-3 hours away from landing. And then he's going to have to fly another 6 hours over to the East Coast to get to Washington. But Lachlan Adair has an opportunity like no other Australian before. And it's an opportunity to really put his foot on the map, leave his stamp on the arm wrestling world, and show that Australian arm wrestling has arrived. And not as just arrived, but like needs to all of a sudden be considered like, oh, because Lachlan Adair is a bad dude, trust me. I know. Anyway, we'll get into that sort of stuff coming up soon. But man, all right, the comments are starting to fly in. It's going to be difficult for me to keep up. So Screwdriver's asking me, have you figured out your travel arrangements for leaving your country? So I have to wait until 2 months prior to the event before I am able to formally submit my application for an exemption to travel. I should have no dramas getting it. The exemption can be given to anyone who is traveling for employment purposes. And my contract with Core Sports and a letter from Core Sports demonstrating that it is paid work that I'm doing, that it isn't just me going on a holiday, that it's very much a career. And it's easy for me to prove that it's a career. So I get that. We get the exemption. It just means that when I come back to Australia, that I have to do 2 weeks in a hotel quarantine. And I'm willing to do that for RBJ. I am willing to do that for the biggest sissy in arm wrestling. Biggest sissy. I say biggest sissy, and I mean it. RBJ is a tough dude in so many senses. But oh my goodness, is the dude a sissy when it comes to this situation. There's just too many contradictory things that he said when we went live with Neil the other week. He was just, I don't know if he even gets it. I don't know if he comprehends it. I loved what Pradeep did. Pradeep just picked apart and analyzed uh, Rob's contradictory and just anyway. He's a sissy on this one, in particular in respect to the straps and the crying over the fact that we're in King of Table rules and the auto strap. He's worried. He's so worried. And the other funny thing on the live was when we were talking about, Neil was asking us who's got more physicality in what area. And I made the comment that I believe Rob absolutely has stronger wrist flexion. Rob absolutely has stronger bicep pressure and rising back pressure than I do. And I said our pronation is probably similar. I said my elbow integrity is far better in a supinated position. And here's the thing. Rob, when asked the same question, he said he was stronger everywhere, including here. He said he was stronger in a supinated side pressure position than I was. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that, Rob. If that's the case, then Rob, then why not just start in a supinated hook with me? Let's both come forward. No dragging. Let's both come forward and prove your point. And immediately he was like, no, why would I do that? That's you want me to start in the lane that you want and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, Rob, well, you just told me 30 seconds ago, you just told me that your elbow and side pressure integrity was better than mine. So if that is the case, you would have no dramas beating me in that position. And he immediately was like, no way. And then he tries to go on and say that I'm being the sissy by saying we're going to start in straps. You know, the difference is, Rob, I'm not being a sissy. I actually acknowledge that you are stronger and better out of straps, and it would be a very difficult day. I actually don't think I could pin you at all out of straps. I would absolutely be intending on slipping, but thankfully I don't even have to, and I don't care that it upsets you, Rob. I don't care that it upsets you that we're going straight strap, because we are. And to anyone who thinks that that's cheating on my behalf to go straight to the straps and not start out of the straps, again, just deal with it. You're being a sissy. We sign at the King of the Table rules. It's pretty simple. Rob's been doing this in the WAL for years. He's the champion of a league that does the exact same thing. After 30 seconds, auto strap. So I don't know why he's so worried about me. Or maybe I do. He couldn't handle losing to me. I think it'd be the worst thing possible. Anyway, stronger than every woman on earth comes in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He said, are you and Lachlan competing in over the top open category? Any other big hitters? Do you think you or Lachlan can win it? Yeah, over the top happens in April here on the Gold Coast in Australia. And it is a big tournament. It's the biggest tournament Australia will have had at that point in time. It's a professional open tournament. It's open to the world. So if Levan wants to be here, Levan can be here. Because the prize money is pretty decent, 10,000 Australian dollars. So about 7,500 US for first place in the open division. And then I think it's $1,000 prize money for all the first place getters in the weight divisions. Now, typically, originally I was saying I'm going all in on the open, and I'm not even going to pull my weight category. I'm not so sure I'm going to do that anymore. I'd like to win my weight category, the 100 kilo category. I'd like to, for the main reason that I don't want Brett Coots to get $3,000 by not having any competition in the 100 kilo category. I've wanted to pull Brett Coots forever. So I plan on entering the 100 kilo category, dominating it, beating Brett Coots in the final, and then pulling the opens as well. I know that pulling the hundreds before pulling the opens will take the shine off me, and that's just the reality. But I'd love to also meet Jordan Davis. I know Jordan's only pulling the opens. I'd love to win the hundreds and then go on and pin Jordan Davis in the opens. And I don't, man, can Lachlan win it? Of course he can. No one in Australia can do anything to Lachlan right now. So it's Lachlan's match. Big Matteo Orangi at the Morris will be coming over. I don't think Matteo Orangi's up to Lachlan's level. I gripped Matteo Orangi only in May of last year, and he and I were very balanced. Where Lachlan and I are not balanced. And also you got people like Devon Larratt supposedly coming. I know the Australian Arm Wrestling Federation's got a good relationship with Devon, and they've been pushing to get some internationals, and Devon has indicated that he's going to be coming as well. So that's pretty awesome. If that is the case, then naturally Devon becomes the favourite. But Lachlan's a threat to anyone, even to Devon. Lachlan's level right now, he's a threat to even Devon. And we don't have long to wait before we get to see that in action up against Todd Hutchins on the weekend. All right. What else has been going on? Any more sessions with the 170 kilo rugby player? Asked Sean Dugan. Yeah, did you guys? Oh, no doubt you guys saw Big Samson. Dude, what a man! Samson is legitimately the most genetically gifted arm wrestler I've ever met personally, and incredibly intuitive on the table. A lot of people, when they start arm wrestling, take even months and even years sometimes to develop fluidity and transitions and an ability not to use moves, but an ability to feel and subsequently adjust. It takes a long time for most people to do that. Samson did that straight away. That was legitimately the first time he's ever arm wrestled on a table. He's arm wrestled buddies in his lifetime before, but he said to me when he's arm wrestled buddies at work or whatever, he just kind of holds and just says, "All right, you go," and they try, and he just holds until they give up. So he hasn't arm wrestled. Make no mistake, he hasn't arm wrestled. That was his first time on the table, and the way, like I said in the video, the way it came about was my wife and I were just walking down the street, and I happened to see Samson sitting there over the left, waiting for his wife to do some shopping, and I couldn't help myself. I went over there, shook his hand, introduced myself, and told him about this concept that I had about the video I was making, that I was looking for someone that was a genuine giant. And I said, "Hey man, are you interested in being part of that video and coming and grouping up?" I said, "Look, I'll pay $100 to do it." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'd love to." He's like, "I can't believe it." He's like, I feel like God's brought this together." He said, "I've been literally watching Devon Larratt videos for the last 2 weeks. I just discovered the sport 2 weeks ago. I just haven't been able to stop watching Devon Larratt videos." And he was so buzzed that I knew Devon Larratt. He couldn't believe it. He was like starstruck that I knew Devon. And one of the coolest things was when after we did the filming, posted you guys would have seen it. I posted the photo of he and I standing next to each other, and Devon was one of the first people to like it, and he should have said Samson. He was so excited to have Devon Larratt hitting like on that photo. It was pretty cool. But so the downside about this is as awesome as the meeting was and the training with Samson was. Samson lives about 5 hours drive away, and he was in my area to visit family. He works in the mines in Mackay, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to train with him on a regular basis. But he said he comes down to Brisbane every 3 or 4 months, and he'll come and get involved, and he'll get in touch when he does. So we will get him involved in the sport as much as we can, and he's really interested. He said he might literally move back to Brisbane just for arm wrestling's sake, because he said he not only enjoyed it, but he actually can see himself undertaking the pursuit of it properly. He obviously sensed the vibe that I gave him, and that I was excited for him. I thought it was amazing that he had the genetic start point that he didn't, and that he moved as intuitively as he did, given he was a brand new arm wrestler. And he was excited. He's like, he could see that I believed that he could go on to become a world elite. And he could. He really could. He's bigger than Levan at his natural baseline. That to me is a really big deal. Levan is obviously one of the biggest arm wrestlers ever to walk this earth. I think Levan's peak weight was 180. Samson is 170, and he said 170 on a good day. And when I asked him what a good day is, he said a good day is when I'm light and I'm not fat. And he said, but I've just had Christmas, so I'm probably over 170. But he modestly said he was 170. He might have been 180. I don't know. But I think honestly, if Samson dedicated himself to arm wrestling for a year, he's never dedicated himself to a strength sport. He doesn't even go to the gym. That's just his natural baseline. I can see him as a 200 kilo plus guy, really quick, smart. His genetic start point is phenomenal. All right. Grant Dodd says, have we discussed Derek Smith yet? Tim is going to smash him. Laugh out loud. And there is Derek in the chat. He says, uh-oh, Grant is here. Man, that's actually a really cool match. I can't wait. Derek and Tim Bresnan, that's a big deal. Derek's one of those guys that is he's the next chapter of USA North American arm wrestling. He's another genuine giant. I think that he is actually taller than Samson. I think Samson was a bit heavier than Derek. I'm not sure, but it's close. But another genuine giant. And I think that Derek Smith against Tim Bresnan is a really good match, even though Tim has kicked his ass once upon a time. That was baby Derek. This is we got man Derek now. Man Derek's a different level. So I think Derek's got the opportunity. Last match when he beat Tom Nelson like he was like a child. So that's pretty significant. Tom Nelson is no slouch, and Derek just walked straight through him. So I think this is going to be a great match. But Tim Bresnan possesses some of the stiffest elbows and most conditioned pronation defenses in arm wrestling. He's got that old man strength and that old man specific arm wrestling twist, that open arm stop in the strap. It's gonna be difficult. I expect actually the match to go Derek's way. It's just, can he get over that pronation defense, that open arm pronation defense that Tim's gonna block him with. Alexi Vovoda couldn't get over it. If you remember when Alexi tried to make a comeback, he couldn't get over it. Can Derek? Derek's got the height. Derek's taller than Alexi. He's a bigger human. So that big long arm, it's going to assist that wrist flexion over the pronation. And if Tim Bresnan gets turned up and is left sitting there palm up, then Derek could be in control. Yeah. All right, what else is going on? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the comments. Yeah, so just touching base, I can see a few people in there talking about where you get on the pay-per-view for this weekend's Lachlan Todd Spectacular. Guys, hit the join now button on this page. If you go to this page, hit the join now button, scroll down pay-per-view, and that'll do it. I see Neil Pickups in the chat. Good morning, Neil. Must be early for you, brother. Must be real early. Oh, hang on a second. I'm going to make sure my laptop's plugged in. I just realized that the cable's not plugged in. And the battery's real low. Oh, gee, that was close. We almost lost you guys. But we're plugged in now, so we're good. But Neil, good morning, brother. Ladies and gents, if you haven't gone and checked out Neil's new Arm Wars specials, go and do it. The production level is as good as it gets. But how good is this backdrop, by the way? I like it. Grant Diet, the weakest man in the chat, but the most talkative. I'll give him that. Good to see Grant Diet in there. He's someone who features in arm wrestling uncensored quite a bit. Daniel Ulrich said he will top roll the shit out of Tim. Daniel Ulrich quoting Derek there. I don't know. I love how the internet does that. The internet speaks its own truth, and half the time that truth is not true. But who knows if that was an actual quote from Derek. But nevertheless, top rolling the shit out of Tim sounds pretty good. Yeah. Do you think Tim Bresnan belongs in the top 8 from Fox 8 Ball? Yeah, not the genuine top 8, but he's in the available top 8. You know, I mean, if we're ranking the top 8 arm wrestlers in the world, Tim's not in it, but he's in it. He's in it, but he's not in it. If you know what I mean. I mean, Tim's a great dude, but he's somewhere 10 through 20, maybe. There's a lot of people out there that are solid arm wrestlers that could bang with Tim for sure. But he's done his time. He's served the PAL well. He's genuinely on elite. But he's not in reality in the top 8. But unfortunately, we don't have a pure top 8. If we had a pure top 8 off the top of my head, we've got Levan, we've got Vitaly, we've got Devon, we've got Michael, we've got Dave Chafee. I think we've got Jerry. We've got Kadecho, obviously. And then that's 7. Have I said Hermes? But then I'm leaving out people like Prudnik. Oh my goodness. And Trubin. Oh my goodness. It's hard to have a top 8. But Tim is in there for the moment. Melodic. Yes, my next big match is most definitely RVJ. This arm right here it's gonna pin him. People don't think I'm strong enough. They're kidding themselves. I saw that Travis Bajet picked me as the favorite. He had me as the favorite, and hey, Charlie Chim signs up to the pay-per-view. Well done, Charlie Chim. You will be enjoying that one, I assure you. I got $1,000 on Lachlan to win this match. Private bet. It's not through arm bets. It's with Jonathan Hoffman of California. I'll say this publicly because I want Jonathan Hoffman to remember that he has this bet with me and not to pretend it's not there. So, Jonathan Hoffman, get ready for that transfer. $1,000. Yeah. Sweden Arm Wrestling TV, Kriegy, good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining in, man. Oh yeah, there's another good topic. Evan Burgoyne and Schoolboy. I haven't talked about this match before. It's an interesting one. It's coming up in East vs West, which is a stacked card, like stacked ridiculously. Is the East vs West situation. Engen Terzi has done an amazing job. You know, I don't know. Actually, I can't. I won't say it, but I've chatted privately with Engen Terzi in recent weeks. He invited me to be part of the East vs West thing, and I wasn't able to. But he's put a lot of time, energy, and money into this. He's made big sacrifices to make all this possible. So my hat is absolutely off to what he's done. And Core Sports, as Matthew McGee signs up as well. Well done, Matthew McGee. Good to see you getting in there, brother. Thank you for joining the pay-per-view. But Engen Terzi has done an amazing job, and he's got a pay-per-view through Core Sports. I think it's $10 for about 20 insane matches. I will 100% be watching. And I'm going to 100% commentate the whole lot. I'm going to be on here live like this right now with this backdrop probably. Or maybe I'll have a new backdrop by then. I don't know, but I will be live. I might have a guest with me right here where the Invisible Man is at the moment. But I'm thinking I'll have a guest. Someone will be wearing these, having a chat with me. And it's going to be good. But yeah, make sure you guys get onto that. So Burgoyne and Schoolboy is one of those matches. Now, Evan Burgoyne is he's a good dude. I like Evan. He's like, I don't know how to describe Evan other than he's the bad boy of Canadian arm wrestling. He and RBJ have some similarities, but the difference is I like Evan. I can't stand RBJ, but they both don't care what they say. They'll say anything that they think out loud, and they'll be quite obnoxious in the process. But I'm quite fond of Evan, especially after I beat him. Sweden Arm Wrestling TV, pay-per-view, Macho Man Arm Wrestling Channel, pay-per-view. You guys killing it. Thank you so much. It's going to be awesome. Interesting. Neil Pickups just made a comment in there. Sorry, I will get back to the Evan and Schoolboy thing. In respect to, I think it's Tim Bresnan's match with Derek. Neil said, genuinely hard to say, Derek, as I don't know how hard Tim's been working and I haven't seen you tested yet. It's actually a very interesting match from me, mate. And it is a very interesting match. It's one of those genuine data update matches. Tim's very consistent. We know what Tim's bringing. Derek's somewhere out there. We know he's improving. We know he's on the rise, but we don't know what level. We saw what he did to Tom Nelson. Convincing. Can he do that same thing to Tim? If he can, whoa, look out, Derek's here. If he gets beaten by Tim, you go, okay, he's still got some things to work on. But it's a good match. It's a good update. I love it when a match to me is awesome when it provides a storyline update in respect to the world rankings. And yeah. All right. So back to Evan. Evan against Schoolboy is a tricky match. Evan is the big underdog here. Schoolboy's a lot heavier. I mean, Evan's been leaning up and been trimming down and trying to get to a point where he's at his physical best. But when you do that, you always risk losing a bit of power. And he's coming down from 250, 260, which I think was what he weighed when I pulled him. And he's coming down, I think he's like 230 now, 235 maybe, something like that. And still leaning up. And I can't help but think that he'll just lose a little bit of weight and power in that ability that he has. Evan's wrist sucks. I think it sucks. Sorry, Evan. I think your wrist sucks. I don't think Schoolboy's going to have a problem um, taking Evan's wrist, and that's troublesome for Evan. Given the length of the lever of Schoolboy and the size of the hand and just the pedigree of Schoolboy. I mean, he just won the Junior Worlds at WAF, which is real deal. He's the real deal. He really is. And I think he's rapidly improving. He's getting bigger. He's physically just a much bigger, stronger human. And I think he's a better arm wrestler. I think he's a more complete arm wrestler. I think if the match started in a hook, Evan would have a shot. I think that Evan might be able to put his connective tissue on the line and get some stops and whatnot and make things happen. But I'm just not sure he can do that from a straight wristed start ready. I don't think you can force him in there. I said I didn't have a problem opening up the wrist of Evan outside of straps, and then in straps, my pronation flattened his hand, no worries. So I can just only assume that Schoolboy's going to have an even easier day given his leverage to do the same thing. So sorry, Evan. I don't know if you're in here watching. I'm sure Green Diet will let you know what I told YouTube about you. But yeah, I got Schoolboy for the win easy. All right, what else is going on? Mindaugas Tarasitis arm wrestling. G'day. Is that the Mindaugas Tarasitis? How are you, brother? If it is, good to see you. Hope it's a pity you didn't get that match with Giannis. That would have been special. I think that was one of the ones we were most looking forward to. Mindaugas Tarasitis, brutal lightweight from Lithuania. Lithuania, it is Lithuania, isn't it? Yeah. I remember I've touched the hand of Mindaugas a couple of times. First time was in Moldova. Literally as we were leaving the venue, we didn't have a table. We just gripped up and felt each other's hands. And then at the Zlotita, in the back alleys of the Zlotita, Mindaugas was trashing me after I'd just pulled the Zloty. And in my defense, I'd done a bunch of after pulling with Herman and all those guys. And then Mindaugas crushed me. But one of the most proficient and elite lightweight top rollers that walks the earth. Good man, Mindaugas. What else we got here? Just having a look through. When am I visiting Western Australia? From Alexander. Look, Western Australia is not high on my priority list at the moment. Getting international is, and I've got this match with Rob. That is my pure focus. Like I said, I'm excited. I haven't been excited like this, and not to this degree. This is the match for me. This is everything that I've been wanting and waiting for. The opportunity to finally get to pull someone of the caliber of Rob Vigeant. I mean, he's won WAL titles multiple times. He's beaten Todd Hutchins here and there. He's done massive things. Getting a win on him is credibility central for me. So it means a lot to me. It means a lot, and I know that it in a way means a lot to Rob too, for very different reasons. He wants to just shut me up. He thinks that he can shut me up and that he will shut me up, and he's just going to be too strong. Where for me, this is an opportunity to prove my level. Rob's established. We know where Rob's at. Rob's been there for a long time. He's got the recognition. If I beat Rob, I get it. I take a massive step forward in my own recognition and credibility. And where do I go to from there is just exciting. The next steps, if I were to beat Rob, become really, really interesting. And I can't wait to explore that avenue. So I am excited for the opportunity to pull Rob. I have such a good strategy in place. I honestly cannot wait to do it. And that's what I love. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch Travis's prediction on this match. And I think Travis nails it. I've said it to Rob's face plenty of times that he's not a good arm wrestler. And he gets very offended when I say it because he's done amazing things, but he's not a good arm wrestler. And Travis certainly agrees with me on that. He's not a good arm wrestler. He's an incredibly strong and gifted arm wrestler and has good instincts, but he's not someone that can develop a strategy and have deep level tactics that actually can amplify his strength to a significant degree. I don't need to be as strong as Rob to win this match. I need to be better than Rob. And a lot of my match focus is on exactly that. It's on being better than Rob, on executing the whole situation better than Rob. From the moment we walk in the room to the moment Ready Go happens, the match is on and we're doing things already. And I know, I just know I do that better than Rob. And I can't wait. I can't wait to do it. Anyway. People say Melodic Metal thinks I'll have to be very quick to stop him off the go. I don't think so. RBJ is not going to be faster than me. I think I'm going to be faster than him. It's how strong is he? I know strength can cancel speed, but not when we're in the strap. I'm not expecting to flash pin Rob. I'm not coming into the game with any vision in my mind of that happening. I'm not going to share the vision of the shape of the match because it's too important to me to get it right and to be one step ahead of Rob, or maybe 2 steps ahead of Rob. Usually, I would tell you how I'm going to beat someone. Usually, I would say I would happily declare my exact plan. I like doing that. I like to tell you exactly what's going to happen. So when I walk that path, you can go, oh, damn, okay. It happened exactly as he said it would. I'm not going to do that in this instance because it means a lot. Because winning this match means a lot. And so I'm not telling Rob anything about what I'm doing. And he's just going to have to try to keep up on the day. And that's going to be hard for Rob. Keeping up with what I'm bringing is going to be hard. Schoolboy versus Ryan Brown, King of the Table 4. Yeah. It's been floated a few times. We'll see. Maybe someday. You never know. I don't think that that's on the cards. If I'll put a prediction out there for King of the Table 4. And it's a lot of it depends on the outcome of this weekend's match with Lachlan and Todd. If it goes the way I expect it to, which is a decisive victory to Lachlan, I expect Lachlan on King of the Table 4 against Hermes Gasparini. I don't think Lachlan wants that match at all. But just how I know King of the Table to work, they like picking people that have immense marketing and storyline. And Hermes has done a great job in recent times of building real storyline. And if Lachlan crushes Todd really convincingly, everyone's going to be talking about him. And naturally, they're going to be like, well, here's 2 people that everyone's talking about. Go for it. I think Lachlan would actually like to pull Krasimir Kostadinov after Todd, which would be an outstanding match. But again, I don't know that Krasi has the ability to get to Dubai or whatnot. But anyway, let's have a look. What else is going on? Oh, what's Derek saying about RBJ? Here we go. Let's have a look. So Derek says, one of the things that is weird about RBJ is how much he preaches about wanting things to be equal and fair. More testing, weight cap, etc. Yet, if all things were fair, his genetics carry him. Yeah. The whole make it fair thing, I've seen a lot of debate recently about cheating in the match. In particular, commentary about Devon Larratt and people saying he cheats. And they're saying, how could you condone cheating? And when we talk about what Devon will and may attempt to do in his match against Levan, it's very similar to what I'll do against RBJ. RBJ is stronger than me. Levan is stronger than Devon. It doesn't mean the match is over. Okay, it's not that simple. This is not a powerlifting meet. We're not lifting a weight. We're attempting to defeat each other in an arm wrestle. And there's so much more to it than that. And just like Devon is better at all those other things than Levan, it's the same for me and RBJ. And anyone who sees it as cheating is missing the point. I had arguments yesterday in forums and arm wrestling discussion with some Russian dude. I don't know his name, talking about every sport about intentional fouls, and he had a real issue with intentional fouls. And I said to him, "Dude, stop being so naive." I said, intentional fouls happen in every sport as a means to get a second chance. It's a sacrificial moment. Pick any sport, they all do it. They will all intentionally take a foul, which, let's remember, taking a foul is a disadvantage. It puts you at more risk, makes it difficult for you to win. You're on thin ice once you're on a foul. But you go on that thin ice voluntarily to get the restart, whether it's WAF people lifting their elbow, whether it's Devon Larratt starting early to try to put fatigue into his opponent's hand. Okay, intentional fouls happen as part of tactics. And you're well within your rights to do so. Intentionally fouling is not cheating. Intentionally fouling is intelligent arm wrestling when you are up against the wall against someone that you know, you can sense will beat you if you simply start the match. And also, to anyone who says Levan and Europeans in general don't cheat in the same respect, again, you're being naive, you're kidding yourself. Everyone does it. Every single arm wrestler tries to take a grip that suits them. No one is happy to take a grip that doesn't suit them. No one, Levan included. It's very easy to appear as though you're very fair when you're the stronger man. You'll hear even Devon Larratt. How many times have you heard Devon Larratt say, "Just say go. Just say go," to the referee? And you'll notice that when Devon's saying "just say go," he's straight, he's square, he's just waiting to go. And it's because he's a stronger man. He can sense it. He knows that he's going to win as soon as the match starts. And his "just say go" is trying to take away the time and the opportunity for his opponent to change something, to work something out, to use the time remaining to create a better opportunity for him. The "just say go" is Devon cancelling those opportunities and just committing to the start when he knows he has superiority. So when Levan feels like that, he's very fair. And it looks like he's just a gentleman. But trust me, as Levan rose through the ranks and he was the weaker man in matches, Levan did all those little things necessary to find the win before the go. Spots RH comes in with a $5 super chat. No question, but I appreciate that, Pots RH. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the support. So to all the people who say that Devon is cheating and that it's a disgrace that the fans of Devon Larratt champion him doing that, just stop, is what I say. Just get over it. Everyone does it. Devon's just better at it, all right? He's just better at it than you are, or better at it than your favorite guy. Ash, Isle of Man 90 says, "Ryan's looking very professional today." Thank you, Isle of Man. Look at this. We're even ready for a guest. We haven't got a backdrop over here yet, but we will get a backdrop over here yet. We will get there one day soon. But I appreciate that. You guys have made all this possible. The fact that the channel's doing so well means I can invest in cameras and whatnot. And but we're going to get another camera just like this on the face of the guest as well. So when they're talking, I can flick over to them and go from there. But yeah, thank you, man. Who do you think Devon should train with for Levan? Asks Barry Allen. Well, there's no one out there that is going to replicate Levan. I've described what I think Devon not should do, but what he would be considering doing. I really do think that Devon has two chances: a really deep inside chance and a really out there running chance. The King's move and an incredibly coiled up hook. It's a scarier proposition to go for the incredibly coiled up hook. I mean, to try to step in front of that freight train and stop it, that is Levan is a big scary move, and Devon might literally break himself doing it. But that's something that's possible. And the Kings move, if it's a Kings move approach that Devon's going for, then Devon has that system down pat. But as for who he trains with, speaking to Devon and watching Devon's recent live or recent videos, he talked about precision. He talked about for the next 4 months, everything he does, he wants to be about precision. He wants to be about just getting it perfect. And I think that shows that Devon recognizes that he has to be perfect against Levan. And he recognizes that there is a target there for him to hit, and that if he hits it, he'll win. But he has to be precise. He has to find the corridor, the narrow corridor that exists, and exploit it. And that's tricky when you're dealing with someone as strong and as brutal as Levan. Levan is fundamentally the strongest arm wrestler I think we've ever seen in the history of the sport, and realistically, it's crazy to think that Devon could just stop him. So Devon has to derail. Devon has to work with a higher speed operating system. He needs to make subtle changes mid-match that are going to, hopefully, in his eyes at least, create some fatigue and some work and create an open door and an opportunity. I don't think that there necessarily is an open door at any position, but I do think that he will go searching for it and look to create an opportunity by adding fatigue in layers, adding fatigue through stress putting on in the negotiation. I expect running fouls to happen. I expect lots of things to happen on Devon's behalf that are going to be all done in an attempt to create a weakness that Devon can then go all in on. Stacey Morgan, $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you very much. It says, no question, just a comment. I hope you kick RVJ's ass. You got this with a guns, YouTube channel, and a piece. Thank you, brother. Stacey Morgan, I really appreciate that. It's nice getting the support. The channel has been very supportive of late, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much, man. It's a special opportunity for me. It's big. I've wanted to get to the world level since I began. I still want to be a world champion. Within my weight category, that is a firm goal of mine that I'm working on every day. It sits in my mind. And a win over RVJ is a massive step towards that. A win over RVJ opens the door for me to have super matches with the guys that are the world champions. With the guys that, if I were to beat them, people start to say, well, he's Ryan best. So it's a big step and a big opportunity, a big chapter. And I really do appreciate your support. So thank you very much. All right. So John Olsen says, do you think they will arrange more matches in the future of King of the Table? It would be great if they arrange at least 6 matches. At the end of the day, it's about balance. It's about money and maintaining profitability. There's obviously expenses involved in King of the Table. As much as we'd like to see more matches, you got to make profit. If we want to see King of the Table stick around, it's got to be profitable, and it currently is. So we needed to keep it going. So how many matches? Considering that they're paying for things like travel and accommodation for athletes and they're +1, plus there's fees that they pay the athletes to turn up, match fees for the winners, there's referees, there's cameraman, there's production teams, there's sound engineers, there's a lot of people that need to be paid to make this possible. And as long as we can maintain profitability, it'll keep happening. And I think Larry's always going to look for that sweet spot that maximizes the profitability. So he doesn't want to just spend the money for the sake of it on having 6 or 7 matches. If that's just going to chew up all the profit, and there's going to be nothing left over, because that's risky. That's not good business. Ever increasing profit is good. I want Larry making $1 million every time he does it. So if he's making $1 million, then where athletes are being paid well, and we've got big time stuff going on, and the production's going to be through the roof. And that's along the way down the track. But I'm a big fan of capitalism for the sport. I think it needs to happen. And what Larry's done from scratch is amazing. Thankfully, Larry Larry has invested in our sport, his time, energy, and a lot of money to make it happen. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. But the fact that they've announced King of the Table 3, 4, and 5 already and the dates for them is a good sign. Alex McDonald says, what do you think of Lachlan comparing his pulling style to Dave Chaffee? Well, there's nothing wrong with comparing styles in any way, shape, or form, is my answer to that. Naturally, Lachlan watched very closely that training session between Dave Chaffee and Todd. He looked at exactly what was happening biomechanically to Todd, and he applied that to his thinking. And he's very aware of what works and what doesn't. So I think it's intelligent preparation from Lachlan to be doing that. I think himself comparing his style to Chaffee is perfectly fine. I think their styles are quite different, but I get I get the parallel he was talking about. In respect to this match, I get the parallel, so there's no dramas. Procrastinator says, I can't wait for the day where we can say, remember King of the Table 506? That card was insane. Gee, 506. That would be insane. No, what Larry's done is amazing. Oh, yeah, take my hat off to him. Full range of motion, guys, says Lachlan will destroy Todd. I'm going to put a poll up for you guys right now. If you chuck a vote in this one, who have you got? Let's do a poll. I think I've done one of these polls before, but right now, I've just asked, who have you got, Lachlan or Todd? And not who do you want to win, but who do you think will win? Answer it that way. Who do you think will win this? Did it come up? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Who have you got? Lachlan or Todd? Let's have a look as the numbers come in to see who's on top in that respect. Okay. Todd with the early lead on 59% on the initial impressions. 41%. Oh, there we go. We're pretty even money now. 48-52 after 52 votes. This is a match. When we look at the physicality, like I said, I believe Todd has superior elbow, supinated elbow integrity and side pressure and endurance in that position. If he can get there, it's Todd's. Lachlan doesn't have that. Lachlan has superior back pressure. 100% he has superior back pressure. If you don't agree with that, you're kidding yourself. I think Lachlan has superior wrist flexion. I think finger flexion. Todd has superior finger flexion, but Lachlan has superior wrist flexion. If you've seen the meat bag that Lachlan's packing on that forearm, it's crazy. As Lachlan's now 53% favorite after 64 votes. So Todd with the superior elbow inside, Lachlan with superior wrist flexion and back pressure. Pronation, neither of them use it as a lead weapon, but Todd very rarely uses the pronation. I mean, he'll pronate in the hook, where Lachlan's happy to stay flat and pronate in semi-top roll. I think Lachlan's got more activated pronation, but it won't largely be relevant. And that's really all we need to compare when we're talking about the fundamentals. So given all that, Lachlan's slightly faster. Todd's far more experienced, but I don't know. Sorry, I just don't see Todd win. All right, so Lachlan after 69 votes is at 53%. Todd at 47 after 70 votes. Todd definitely has better connective tissue. Like I said, if the match stops and the match is supinated, then it's going to be Todd's. Lachlan doesn't have the ability to get close to Todd, sorry, if the match is fully supinated. But getting Lachlan fully supinated, oh my goodness. Good luck. Especially when you're short. I haven't seen anyone ever grip Lachlan low and be successful. And realistically, Todd's gripping him low. Todd's not going to top roll Lachlan. No way. So Todd's gripping low. Todd's going into a hook. and Lachlan will determine whether or not it goes into a hook with him, or whether or not he stretches Todd out with that back pressure that he's got. Lachlan's going to win. I'm very confident. All right, Fox 8 balls off the Gators for training. Good luck, brother. Arm wrestling Devon Larratt presenting Levan says, remind people to ring that bell if you want to do more of these. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Oh, I missed the super chat from Kirsten Prodigy. Give me 2 seconds as I'll end that poll with Lachlan taking 53% of the win. Kirsten Prodigy says, good luck for the RVJ, buddy. I believe in you. Would love to do a live video with you someday. Kirsten Prodigy, yeah, man. We can do a live video for sure. I'll get you on very soon. If you didn't already know, Kirsten Prodigy is taking on Pushkar, the 80-kilo world champion in early February. I think 8th or 9th or something like that of February in Malta. Kirsten Prodigy is a phenom. Physically, he's a phenom, and he's out to make a statement. He's out to declare in one go his level, and that it's a world elite, that it's a world champion level. Because Kirsten Prodigy is taking on the current world champion in a super match. It's going to be amazing. Do not miss it. Do not miss it. But yes, we'll get you on, Kirsten. I'd love to just chat with yourself, brother, about all things arm wrestling and all things psychology with the sport. Because I think Kirsten's psychology is a really interesting one. To go jump into the deep end as significantly as he is for this match it's brave. It's very, very ballsy. So Kirsten, yeah, man. We'll be featuring a lot on Kirsten's match as we get closer to it. All right. Have you ever considered a traveling training road trip? Interesting, Northwest Bull, who asked that question. If COVID didn't pop up, that's what the last 2 years would have been for me. I would have been constantly traveling the world. I would have been everywhere. Arm wrestling has become a career for me. That's all I do. This is what pays the bills for me, is being here on YouTube and creating content on Facebook and social media. And that would have been more interesting had I been on the road and all over the world, in popping up in European nations. I would have loved to go to Russia, Ukraine, anywhere, Bulgaria, all these amazing places. Definitely wanted to hit the North American roads again, do some work with Travis, and just constantly arm wrestle. That's what I would have been doing. But the world flipped upside down and we didn't get the opportunity to do that. So it's been a very different 2 years, and the sport's been very generous to me anyway. Despite not being able to go anywhere, I've still had opportunities come to me, and business has grown and things are doing well. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I think that if we ever get back to the opportunity to travel, and to be honest, I don't know when that happens, I would love to do that sort of stuff. In the meantime, I'm going to do big ticket items like King of the Table. I've got to do the 2-week quarantine when I return to that, but it's worth it. To be able to beat RVJ, it's worth it on King of the Table, and to be paid for it, it's worth it. It gets a collab with Larry for a week afterwards. It's worth it. But outside of that, I'll be here in Australia. I'll be bringing people from the international crop of arm wrestlers. I'll be bringing them out here. I've already got Jordan Sill promised, and I've already got Sasha Andreev and Pushkar Semyonov promised, unless Kirsten Prodigy beats him, and then he takes his place. Yeah. So lots to come. DWR Music says, do you think Neil can make Arm Wars return to the previous heights of production? I think Neil's new strategy on Arm Wars is very commendable. I think he's put a lot of thought into it. He's put a lot of money into it. I know that. And I think the production level in itself, in its new style, is very emotive. It's very easy to enjoy and relate to. It's a different pace, that's for sure. It's more documentary feel, but it's new, and it's very exciting to see such high quality. I think the biggest challenge for Neil's new channel is just to get the exposure. We can all help with that, but I think a lot of work needs to be done on getting it out there, on pleasing the YouTube algorithm. At the end of the day, it's important to please the YouTube algorithm. It's no guarantee that just because the video is good that it gets out there. And make no mistake, the videos are really good on the new Arm Wars channel. but we need to get them seen. And getting them seen is an art in itself. It's like something I've been working on a lot. I've been trying to figure it out, and I've been slowly getting there. Thumbnails, titles, all those sorts of things. Understanding what it is that the YouTube algorithm wants. And for me as a content creator and as an arm wrestler, I straight away have to realize, and if you've seen that in my last couple of videos where I put big effort into the production, it's less about just pleasing the subscriber base, because the subscriber base, they already know what's going on. They know who the players are. They understand the sport. They're involved already. There's a degree of understanding there from them. But what we're looking for is, how do we impress someone who's never seen the channel or never seen the sport before? And that's the big hurdle for Wars and for Neil's new channel. And it's the big hurdle for the sport. How do we appeal to someone who's never seen it before? So I spend a lot of time every single day thinking about exactly that. I scroll through YouTube and I ask myself a question. As I'm scrolling. I deliberately scroll through YouTube waiting for a thumbnail to pop up that just grabs me. For a thumbnail from a channel that I'm not subscribed to. And I ask myself, when that happens, I look at it and say, well, all right, I haven't pressed play yet, but why do I want to press play on this channel's video? What is it about this thumbnail that's just made me say, I gotta click it? Is it the words? Is it the colors? Is it the image itself? Is it the combination of all that? It's done something to my brain to say, click this. So when I see moments like that, I take note of it and I try to then say, okay, recreate those emotive thoughts in a thumbnail and title and content package that relates to arm wrestling. That's the challenge, and that's what I'm always working on, and that's what I think Neil needs to do. Potts RH comes in with another $5. Potts RH, the man. Thank you very much. But again, no question. Potts RH, I do apologize. I feel like you're probably writing a question and it's not coming through. So let me see if I can find. Have you written a question anywhere else? Potts RH in the regular chat. Here's a comment from you. Saplenkov at his prime era, when Larratt met his left limit, how would the match go down against Levan? Break it down. Okay. All right, Potts RH, thank you for the super chat. Saplenkov at his prime was potentially the number one that there's ever been. He's in the debate for the peak of the sport. Left arm, I personally have him as the best of all time. I don't think that anyone has been that good on left. Right, it's more debatable. But it's, I don't know, like when I think of where Levan's at in terms of his physicality, he really is at a point that he's the biggest, just most brutish human that we've seen in the sport. Very explosive, still moves very well-rounded in his ability to counterattack and defend. And he's a very complete arm wrestler, and he's got a 10.5-inch wrist, which just is a problem for anyone holding onto a 10.5-inch wrist and trying to defeat the pronation of it. Mega. If he was to face Saplenkov in that prime form, I would expect Saplenkov to take a slightly low grip. Saplenkov has a huge hand. I've met him. I've shook his hand. His fingers are phenomenally thick. I would expect Saplenkov to have taken a slightly low grip. I would expect Levan to take a slightly dumped wrist grip and be looking to top roll. And it would come down to exactly that. The pronation back pressure of Levan up against the wrist flexion, supination, and pec engagement, side pressure, down pressure combination of Saplenkov. And you know, when I dive into my mind and I just imagine that happening, I got to be honest, I see Saplenkov getting the win. Just, I don't know. Do you guys see that too? Let me ask that in the poll. Let's see what happens. Peak Levan v. Peak Saplenkov. You got. This will be an interesting poll. All right, let's see what comes up on that one. And there we go. We got Levan in the early lead, after just a few votes have come in, Levan's at 60%. It'll be interesting to see where this one goes, because it's one of those ones for me that's really interesting. We've unfortunately seen the physical peak of Saplenkov come and go. I don't think we're going to see it, no matter what. No matter his intent on making a return, I don't think we're going to see Saplenkov at the heights that we saw him again. His body just can't do it. He's pushed it hard enough. If he were to push it again, he's at serious risk. So I don't think we can do it. And so now, after 41 votes, we've got Levan at 59%, Saplenkov at 41. As Alex McDonald says, I can't believe we never got to see Levan versus Saplenkov or Pushkar. Yeah, it's one of the most. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it, is there? But it's disappointing. I agree. It's a pity that we never saw it happen. Levan rose to ascension. He ascended to the top of the pile without going through either of those two giants. And make no mistake, those two giants were the top. I mean, they were due to face on the event that Pushkar was driving to when he tragically passed. He was due to face Saplenkov, and we were going to find out who was the man on the right hand. And that was for the number one rank in the world. Undeniably, number one rank was going to be right there. And Levan hasn't beaten those guys. It's a pity. Levan's beaten Vitali, and I think his next most credible win is Dave Shafee. And when you look at that, you say, well, like Levan, as physical as Levan is, he doesn't have the on-paper wins that would solidify. And that's why he's seeking out Devon Larratt and Michael Todd and everyone, because he needs to solidify his legacy. He missed out on the opportunity to pull Pushkar. And you can only imagine, like, Pushkar was number one. Make no mistake about it, Pushkar was number one. Pushkar and Saplenkov were somewhere number one. One of them was, we don't know. We're about to find out, but we don't know. But can you imagine, Pushkar was 33 years old. Can you imagine this Levan coming up? It would have motivated Pushkar more and more and more. And there's no way Pushkar would have just handed over that rank. He would have fought hard for it. And you can only imagine how amazing that battle would have been between Levan and Pushkar, and that chase, and Levan and Saplenkov if he didn't get unwell. Would have been special. We missed out on it. So let's have a look now. After the votes have come in, we concluded there with Levan at 61%, Saplenkov 39%. And I can understand why. As we get a super chat in from John Olson, thank you very much, brother. Says, I read that arm wrestling originated in ancient Egypt, 2000 BC, but got more popular in the 1950s. How do you think arm wrestling has changed during history? Whoa. I feel like I need to get Eric Racine on the line for that one. Yeah, he's the encyclopedia of arm wrestling when it comes to the history of the sport. I think arm wrestling's been around for as long as man has. I think that we've instinctively wanted to grip each other and find out who is the superior in a strength sense. Sport, to me, is a replacement for war. It does the same things. It's instead of going and killing each other, we fight. And arm wrestling is just another step down from a fight. It gives the same emotions and hormonal responses as getting in a fight with someone. So when you get in a fight with someone and you win, you feel dominant, you feel strong, you feel alive. And arm wrestling does that same thing. So I think we've always been into it. As a people, as a race, we've always wanted to do it. And I don't think it's ever not been present in the history of man. Everyone's been arm wrestling. Sons have wanted to arm wrestle their dads forever. I'm sure of it. There's been dad's move going on. So, but as a competitive sense, in terms of organized competitions, yeah, I don't know when it started. 1950s, you mentioned. I think USA Petaluma, I think, was the origin of a lot of competitive arm wrestling. I think there's versions of it in Japan, sumo and all that sort of stuff. But it's been around forever. It's been around. I don't think it's ever not been around. It's just professional organized versions of it. Yeah, much more modern. Good question, though. Appreciate that. And Commissar Gamza Sorry about missing your super chat before. Just backtracking, getting it now. He says, as a YouTuber, the title and thumbnail needs to spark curiosity, and being slightly clickbaity is mandatory. Getting that click is the first priority. Yeah, 100% you nailed it, man. It's very simple how YouTube works. On any given channel, about 20% of the people who subscribe will watch your video. If your channel's good. If your content's good, 20%. If your content's rubbish, 8%. Will watch your video over the first couple of weeks of it being out. But that's not what impresses YouTube. That's not what makes videos go big. What makes videos go big is, does your video appeal to people that have never seen it before? That is what YouTube wants you to do. And if I title a video in the way that only my subscribers understand it, and it only appeals to my subscribers, YouTube will not give me any new audience. Because YouTube always, every time you post, they take your video, they put it in front of a batch of people. They test click-through rate, and they test time watch, or percent of watch retention. And if they suck, they won't put it in front of anyone else. They'll leave it that, leave it to just you and your subscribers. If you crush it in front of a new audience, they'll do it again in front of a bigger audience, in front of a bigger audience. And if you keep on crushing it, they'll keep on going. And you get your big viral videos and your channel blows up. So yeah, appealing to the new fan is a really big thing. But yeah, thank you for your super chat, brother. I really appreciate that. And yeah, you bang on. All right, what else we got going? Ooh, sedentary practitioner has a good question. Who do you think currently is the number one 100 kilo, 220 pounds weight class right arm? I'm going to say it's someone has just mentioned Zoldov or Rustam. He beat me to it, and in those two gentlemen, I was going to mention both of them. But I also want to put John Brzenk in there. I think John at 100, you have to. And we're going to see it. East West West, he's going to pull Zoldov. And I think that's, if John wins that match, you can say John's number one at 100 kilos. You've got to put Kitagali on Garboyev in there as well. At 100 kilos. You got to think about people like Krasnodar and Konstantinov could be 100 kilos if you want to. He'd be someone. But given the people who have pulled there, you have to say Zoloev is, I think, probably it for the moment. Rustam, yep, very realistic chance of him being it as well. And then I would say John Brzenk, 57-year-old John Brzenk's back. Procrastinator says, hey Ryan, in case you're not aware of it, check out browser add-on return YouTube dislike. It brings the dislike view count back. Oh, cheers, procrastinator. To be honest, I'm happy not seeing the dislike. It doesn't bother me. You need an arena god Kai booty style clickbait, and let's be honest, Ryan Bell isn't the most appealing channel name. Create another channel for clickbait and beginner stuff. Nah, I can't be bothered, man. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Tournaments or super matches, what do you prefer? I think I'm a better super match puller than I am tournament puller. But it's been so long since I've had a tournament that I'm really itching for a tournament. I can't wait to pull a tournament. I really do want to end up. I really want to pull Zloty again. See how I go. I'd like to get to the 86 kilo class. Look at this. Look at these guns. 86 kilos. Oh my goodness. So ready. So ridiculously ready to win a Zloty in 86. Get Lockie to make a YouTube channel. He does have a YouTube channel. He just can't be bothered doing anything. It's not for everything. RVJ's emotions versus Ryan's confidence. What's the over-under? Yeah. Well, Travis has me as the favorite. I think most people have Rob as the favorite, but there's a few people who know what I'm about. Travis is one of those people. He understands who I am as an arm wrestler. I've spent a lot of hours with Travis, driving the whole East Coast. Spent a lot of hours. When you're driving the entire East Coast back and forth with Travis, you get to know each other a lot. Travis knows what I'm about, and he has me as the favorite. He thinks that what I'm about combined with the fact that I'm strong now, and he thinks I'm a lot stronger now than when I last saw him. He has been his favourite. I can't complain. All right. Or Lucas Lewandowski. Hi, Ryan. Who do you think would be the next good matchup for Larry? That's a really difficult question. Hey, Larry's in an awkward spot right now where you just can't give the dude a match it's so unknown. Larry needs tournament experience. Larry's been thrust straight to the front of the line with exposure and straight to super matches, and because of that, he's missed out on the necessary 1 or 2, 3 years where you're pulling everywhere, lots of tournaments. You get all that experience of setups and manipulations, and you just get more complete. He just hasn't had enough ready goes. He's had 3 ready goes, like genuine ones. It's not enough. It's really not enough. But Larry's all in. He'll come good. I think he needs a tournament more than he needs a super match. So I couldn't pick one. Nashville Arm Wrestling comes with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He writes, does RBJ whine so much because he's from Boston or because he isn't taking estrogen blockers? Man, I don't get it. I've never known anyone like him. I appreciate the support. I don't know. Rob's, yeah. I'll just say that the beef between Rob and I is real. There's no acting between Rob and I. I definitely don't have to make anything up. I genuinely don't like the dude. He's been rude to me. He's been disrespectful. He's made comments as though he's speaking truth when he's speaking utter garbage. I don't like the dude, and I plan on beating him. It's pretty simple. So yeah, all the best, Rob. But I'm gonna do everything within my power to beat you, and I don't think he will handle it well if I do. All right, guys, we've been on for about an hour and 11 minutes now. I want to thank you all for being here. First and foremost, 113 of you in here as we get to this point of the night. Thank you for being here and checking out the new setup. I really look forward to being with some guests in here and bringing you some really awesome content. We're going to do lots more live. Can you guys comment for me right now in terms of the quality of this live, in terms of the clarity of it? Is it switched? Is it clear? Like, how are we doing? Like, are you guys watching this in HD? Is the sound all right? All that sort of stuff. Give me some honest feedback on it, and that'd be sweet, because I really want to make sure that this is high production in here. Very clear, 720. Yep, 100% better. Awesome. Thank you so much for the feedback there, guys. I really appreciate that. So my commentary, and when I do live videos, this is going to be the standard. I went and made sure I got fiber internet and paid for all the good stuff. So it's nice and clear, and speed is good. I can't wait to get guests in here. And eventually I'm going to have a weekly show of my own. I'll keep going on the fix, but I will have a weekly show as well, where it's not just myself talking, but we're going to have someone else in here. Yet to determine who that someone else may be. We may chop and change, but maybe let me know who you would like as a co-host. If you get, actually, I'm going to put it in a poll. Can we do this? All right. I'm going to put a couple of options. Okay. Who should I have as a co-host for a weekly show? All right, let's see what you guys say to these 4 names. That one, or all right. Ooh, that's spell. Okay, here they come. Let me know if you could pick from these 4. Who would you have? Everyone's saying Danny. I wish I could get Danny. But these four guys all live local to me. They all have very unique perspectives on the sport. They're all great guys in their own right. Ooh, Ethan Tunstall takes an early lead. I do really rate Ethan Tunstall very highly. He's a very nice young man. He's only 20 years old or something, and very articulate. I like the way he thinks about the sport. Promising young lad. Jordan Davis hits the front after 22 votes. Yeah, old reacher. Lachlan there in second place at 31%. Sam Burnett now on 17. Tunstall 14. Interesting. Good stuff. Jordan is a really interesting dude. He's one of those rare guys that that can do things that they just don't look normal. It doesn't seem possible. Lachlan and Jordan both equal at 37 now. Ethan and Sam at 13. Lachlan there hits the front now. Oh, look out, the magical 44% vote has almost been achieved. All right. Good to know. Good to know, guys. After 52 votes, we're sitting at Lachlan 42, Jordan Davis 35, Ethan and Sam both at 12. All right. I'll take all that into consideration. Oh, there it is. Look at that. I'm going to end it right there. 44%. Lachlan at there, 44%. Yes, the Burnett brothers are amazing. There's the final. Oh, look at that. It updated to 45%. Bastards. Yeah, I could switch between them all. Absolutely. The availability is going to be something that we'll do that. So they'll all get on there at some point in time. It's just if we're going to, I do have 4 of these. So I actually could have 3 of them on with me at any one time. We just got to fit around this table that we're sitting on and make everyone look professional. But guys, all that's to come. So thank you once again for your feedback and joining me tonight on this live. It is tonight for me. It might be morning for you. If it is, good morning and thanks for joining in. Lots of questions I can see now coming in about Jordan Davis. I'd love to answer him, but I'll do that one next time. I will say that Jordan Davis I think he's going to win the Arm Wars event that he's on. I think he's going to beat Stoiker, and then I think he's going to beat whoever wins out of Froda and Dale Slangston. Jordan's a bad dude, and he is coming in ready. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you once again. And don't forget, join now. Hit the join now button. Grab yourself the pay-per-view. If you want to watch the match live this weekend, Todd Hutchins, Lachlan there, you need to hit the pay-per-view or hit the join now button on this channel. Select it, scroll down, hit the pay-per-view. It's going to cost you $4.99 $5.99 Australian. I think it's $5.99 Australian, which is about $4.50 American. Yeah, go hit that, and yeah, I'll join you guys to watch that one this weekend. It's going to be happening, if you're here in Australia, at 12 p.m. Brisbane time on Sunday. If you're in the USA, it's happening in Virginia at 9 p.m. in Virginia. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you soon.